Wigs and hair additions. They're for fashion, they're for fun, they're for variety. And for many with any kind of hair loss, wigs are a valuable asset to make them look and feel better. In this chapter, the two objectives you'll focus on are simple: wigs and hair additions. There are many applications for wigs and hairpieces, but in general terms, a wig is designed to cover the entire head, while a hairpiece is designed to cover a specific area of the head.
For as long as history has been recorded, wigs have been a part of the story. It is believed that the early Egyptians used them to protect their heads from the sun. The Romans and Greeks also wore them, depending on the fashions of the moment. Later, in the Elizabethan era, the aristocracy sported curled wigs generously studded with precious gems. Over time, wigs grew in complexity and height, as with this wig, which was popular at the time of the French Revolution. During the 1950s and 60s, wigs and hairpieces took a giant leap in popularity, thanks in part to the development of synthetic fibers, known as modacrylics, which made mass production and lower prices possible. Actors and actresses have always worn wigs. Today, the beautiful actress Raquel Welch not only wears wigs, she has successfully endorsed a complete line of them.
To successfully perform wig services for your clients, it's important to have a good understanding of the composition, colors, and construction of wigs.
Wigs are available in 70 standard colors, which are displayed on a J&L ring. This is the standard hair color ring used by wig and hairpiece manufacturers. Wig construction falls into two general categories: cap wigs and capless wigs. Cap wigs consist of an elasticized mesh fiber base to which the hair fiber is attached, while capless wigs have rows of hair wefts sewn to strips of elastic. Hair and/or synthetic fibers can be attached to the wig cap or base by hand or machine, or they can be semi-hand-tied. A hand-tied wig or hairpiece is produced by actually hand-tying strands of hair into a fine meshwork foundation. Patterns are used to simulate natural hair growth patterns with the density of a fairly thick head of human hair. Since this process is labor-intensive and time-consuming, these wigs tend to be the most expensive. When helping your clients select a wig, keep in mind that the wig's construction is significant in determining the best value in the client's price range. Capless wigs, or caps that allow the scalp to breathe, prevent excessive perspiration that may cause odors. These wigs need to be cleaned less frequently. Many wigs have flesh-colored sections designed to look like human skin. This gives a realistic look when the hair is parted or moves. Most clients, of course, desire as natural a look as possible. To perform a professional wig service for clients requires a selection of products, implements, and equipment. Your textbook has a complete listing on pages 400 and 401. Be sure to study it. Since the majority of wig services are performed on a block, safety concerns are somewhat minimized. See your textbook for a listing of infection control and safety procedures. Discretion is the key word in wig consultation. So make the client feel comfortable and safe, and be prepared to be sympathetic and emotionally supportive. Wigs may be custom-made or ready to wear. Services include wig measurement and fitting, instructions on how to put on a wig, as well as blocking, cleaning, cutting, coloring, and styling wigs. The comfort of any wig depends on proper measurements of your client's particular head size and shape. Brush the client's hair as smoothly as possible. Then measure the circumference of the head, beginning at the hairline in the middle of the forehead. Circle the entire head, running the tape just above the ears, around the back, and returning to the starting point. Measure the distance from the hairline at the center of the forehead to the nape hairline. Measure the distance from temple to temple, just above each ear, over the crown of the head. Measure from just above each ear and over the occipital bone. Some manufacturers may also request that you measure the distance from ear to ear along the nape hairline and also the width of the nape hairline. It is important to teach your client the easiest way to put on a wig. She'll be more comfortable wearing it, and it will avoid frustrations. Brush the hair back from the face and up from the back hairline, then pin to secure. Longer hair can be swept up or secured in large, flat pin curls. Cover the client's hair with a fine net or wig cap to control the hair. This also helps the wig to stay more securely in place. Use the tail of the comb to tuck in any stray hairs while making sure the cap does not cover the client's ears. You may use a hairpin to secure any excess fabric, flattening it to the head shape. Now, place the front hairline of the wig over and slightly lower than the client's front hairline. Have the client hold the front in place while you position the wig over the sides, back, and nape. Adjust the wig perimeter to better fit the client's head shape and hairline. Many wigs are made with wire at the sideburn area for this very purpose. Wig blocking is necessary whenever the wig is cleaned or styled. Canvas-covered wig forms called wig blocks are manufactured in a variety of sizes to maintain the wig's original size. After selecting a canvas block in the correct size, cover the block with clear plastic. Then secure the plastic tightly with wig pins to protect the canvas during services. Place the wig on the canvas block and secure it with wig pins at the center front and both temples. As well as at the center of the nape and at the corners of the nape. You may need to do some additional cutting on a pre-cut wig, especially in the fringe and front hairline areas, so that it perfectly suits your client. Here, a notching technique is used to shorten the fringe while maintaining a soft, variegated texture. Thinning or tapering may also be performed closer to the hair ends as needed. Note that a chin strap helps hold the wig in place during this part of the service. Backcombing the front hairline of the wig can help to soften the hairline and create a more natural look. Proper fitting and styling result in a beautiful, natural look that is comfortable and easy to wear. Refer to your textbook for additional information on wig services. Hair pieces are worn for coverage in specific areas or simply to create particular effects. For information on a variety of hair pieces and their functions, see pages 410 through 412 of your textbook. Toupees are hair pieces designed specifically to cover balding areas. Most toupee manufacturers require that the stylist submit an impression of the client's head, which requires accuracy to create. To create this impression, place a length of clear plastic wrap over the client's head from ear to ear. Twist the ends until the plastic wrap molds tightly to the head. Create an outline of the intended shape of the toupee by placing tape over the plastic parallel to and slightly beyond the area of hair loss. Make sure that the tape adheres smoothly. Now, apply overlapping pieces of plastic tape within the outlined area. Then apply plastic tape in the opposite direction to make a crisscross pattern. Create a complete cap with the crisscross tape. Continue molding the tape to the head. Once the impression is complete, use a felt tip pen to indicate the exact size and shape of the toupee. Extend the line to cover the bald area. It is advisable to extend the pattern 1/2 inch over the hairline. This ensures that the client will still be able to wear the toupee if his hairline recedes further. After identifying the crown cowlick area, carefully draw a part where one is desired and indicate the hair growth direction on either side of the part. Remove the taped form and carefully trim the excess. Tape the underside if necessary. Then, clip hair samples from behind the ear and at the nape and tape them to the impression. This guides the manufacturer to blend the right color for your client. Clients who wear toupees need your continued expertise. Sculpting and blending with the client's own hair is absolutely necessary, as are regular haircut appointments to maintain correct hair length.
And remember, your brain thrives on experience, so continue to learn as much as you can. Your study guide is designed to make your learning come alive. Refer to your textbook and study guide for more information on wigs and hairpieces. Hair additions are loose hair fibers that are attached to a client's own hair. They offer a whole new spectrum of design options.
You can add length, density, texture, and color to accent your design. You can match color and texture for a natural-looking result, or introduce contrasting elements to create stunning new effects. Let's look at some of the more popular methods used to create hair additions. Off-the-scalp braiding uses a standard 3-strand braiding technique incorporating loose hair or fiber along with the natural hair as it is braided. Position the addition as shown, joining it with the outside strands. Then begin using an underbraid technique incorporating the additional hair. Let's look at a version of this technique being performed. Note that the density of the additional hair closely matches that of the 3 sections. Cross the outside left strand with the additional fiber under the center strand to become the center strand. Then cross the right strand under to become the center strand. Keep the tension tight at the base of the braid as you continue using the same technique to the end of the braid. Keep the strands smooth and controlled as you proceed. As you work, you may equalize the density of the strands by borrowing a small amount of hair from the added strands and joining this hair with the strand to which the hair was not added. Then continue using the underbraid technique, working to the ends. This model's additions combine on-the-scalp and off-the-scalp braiding with loose fiber. Note the consistency of the base sizes and the tension used. The ends are not braided since they are incorporated into the finished sculpted design. With an on-the-scalp braiding technique, also known as interlocking, a 3-strand on-the-scalp braid is used as a base to which fiber or hair is added. Fiber can be added with every crossover or spaced according to the desired density. Begin by parting off a track or strip of hair to be braided. At the top of the track, part off a small square and section into 3 strands. Begin a 3-strand underbraid, crossing the right strand under the center and then the left strand under the center. Join a strand of hair or fiber to the right strand with the end of the fiber aligned with the ends of the outside strand. Then cross these combined strands to the center. Use your thumb and index finger to pick up hair from the track and add it to the center strand. Then add a new strand of fiber to the left strand and cross the combined strands to the center to lock the new strands at the base. Continue using the same technique, picking up hair at the scalp as you work through the track. Alter the pattern by adding more or less fiber or altering the number of crosses between the added fiber. Here is a completed braid. Remember that the amount of fiber you add along the track will determine the density in any given area. This model wears an example of on-the-scalp braids with loose fibers. Note that the hair additions create a fashionable texture statement as length is added. With the track and sew method, a 3-strand on-the-scalp braid is used as a support structure to which a hair weft is sewn. Here we see a track being created. On fine or straight hair, as seen here, crimped fiber may be added to the braided track for additional stability. Use the same technique to complete the track. Plan your tracks so that the ends of the braids can be camouflaged by the sewn-on wefts. Once the braided track is completed, you're ready to sew. Thread the needle after making sure the thread is long enough to be doubled back across the length of the weft or track. Sew through the weft first. Position the weft and use a clip to hold it if needed. Then bring the needle through the track. Pull the thread through, forming a small loop. Pull the needle through the loop and pull it tight. You may also wrap the thread around the needle before pulling it through to form a more secure lock stitch. Then use an overcast stitch to secure the weft to the track. For this stitch, the needle and thread are passed under the track and weft and then brought back over. Move slightly to one side to complete the next stitch. This is the simplest and quickest stitch used to secure the weft to the track. Note that a lock stitch can be used at either end of the track for added security. You may also use a lock stitch across the length of the entire weft or track, spacing the stitches evenly for consistent weight distribution of the weft. Note that a straight needle is being used for this example. A double lock stitch can be used to secure the weft at either end or across the length of the weft. This stitch is similar to a lock stitch, but the thread is wrapped around the needle as shown to create a double lock. For this model, the track and sew technique is used to attach synthetic hair that matches her color and curl texture. 3 curved tracks were braided and an overcast stitch was used to secure the wefts. A latching technique utilizes braided tracks to which loose fiber is attached using a latch hook. After creating a vertical track, push the latch hook under the track until the latch is beyond the track. Use the hook to pull the added fiber through the track. Now pass the hook over the track and catch one side of the fiber and pull it through the loop that has been created, then catch the other side and pull it through the next loop. Then catch both sides of the fiber and pull the entire length through. Pull the strands to tighten and secure the fiber at the track. Continue using the same technique as you work up the track. Note that a rhythm is established as you work. Here we see the completed track. This technique is simple to do and can be worn by many clients. Note the uniformity of the attachments at the track. Additional hair fiber can also be attached to the client's hair using a technique called bonding. Apply the liquid adhesive consistently to the hair along the parting. Apply the adhesive along the sewn edge of the weft, then place the weft along the track and apply gentle pressure. Make sure that contact is made along the entire length of the weft. This model wears bonded additions in the back, which are layered to blend with the rest of the design. Length is added while maintaining a professional image. Bonding strand by strand utilizes a bonding agent activated by a heating element to affix loose hair to small sections of the client's hair. Begin by taking small rectangular sections within rows and isolating them with a plastic disc. Place the additions behind the hair and apply a heating element to soften the bond. Then, use your fingers to roll the softened bond until the natural and added hair have bonded. Carefully observe and follow natural growth patterns as you work. This model will receive strand-by-strand additions to achieve additional length, color, and texture. Remember that strand-by-strand additions are great for achieving high fashion looks, but are also used for prescriptive purposes to improve self-esteem.
That completes this chapter on professional salon wig services and hair additions. With study and practice, you'll have the skills to help your clients look and feel better following any kind of hair loss.
Once you've completed this chapter, you will be prepared to meet the following industry standards for entry-level cosmetologists. Consult with clients to determine their needs and preferences. Provide non-surgical hair additions, and market professional salon products.
Refer to your textbook and study guide for more information on hair additions. You'll also want to read the scenario in the It's Up to You section at the end of the chapter to prepare you for your future in the salon.